pour another beer before we start.
Are you pouring them into the old glass?
Aye, fuck it, man.
He's classy as shit.
Nice. This is a serious podcast we're on now.
Glasses and everything.
Aye, fucking hell, these boys are on podcasts on it. The glasses on it.
Come gather round me, children. I'll tell you the news. Don't worry about the names or dates. You already know it's true. The doctor hates your baby. The prime minister's a ghost. And all them folks are sailing here 'cause they're in love with boats. Superfoods can save us from all our evil sin. JFK and Elvis own a bar in Wisconsin. And vaccinations were created by the CIA to steal votes from Bernie Sanders and turn your babies gay. So click the link you think you'd like and get tooled for a fight against those lefty fascist communists who are leaning too far right.
Innocent dreams from my devilish thoughts. I don't paint pictures, I connect dots. You wanna hear the story? Well, I can tell lots. Said she like rap, but never from this strong.
Hi, and welcome to Not Another Fake Newscast. I'm Paul.
And I'm Gerry, and we are very lucky to be joined by Kerr and Jamie for the LaFontaines tonight. Thanks for coming, guys.
How you doing?
How's it going?
Hi, good, man, good.
Not bad. How's your lockdown?
It's fantastic. I'm loving it.
I hope you're being very socially distanced in that.
I'm spending it down in London. No really a choice. In fact, prior to I came down here, I says I'm going to really hit the ground running in London when I go down there. I'm going to make it big in the city. See, and as soon as that happened, 2 days later, lockdown happened. So I've literally no left fucking my house that I'm in.
Do you think they just heard that you were coming down and they were like, nah, fuck this?
Exactly. Get that wee dick to fuck. Keep him indoors. I've been pretty strict with it, man. I don't really plan fucking about it. So I've kept my distances and I've kept indoors and just.
I think if I was in London, I'd be the same for sure, man. Aye.
It's.
I've broke quite a lot of the rules.
that surprises me, Jamie. So, I mean, a bit of background for the listeners. Like, we are kind of from the same town as Jamie. We are from the kind of next town. You grew up in Marlborough, is that right, Kerr?
Aye.
For next town for Kerr, we grew up specifically. We went to the same school as Jamie and all that, and with his brothers and stuff too. So, yeah, we know each other fairly well. Which is new for us. We've not really had folk on the podcast that we know super well before, have we, Paul?
No, I mean, generally it's strangers feel or the UK that we get on. It's very rarely is it somebody that we've watched growing up from being fucking... Shit, man, I can't even remember how long ago
I thought I'd give Kerr some background into you. Kerr, we're sitting here with the singers of Saratoga 54 and Puppies on Acid.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Finally we get to meet.
Couple of singers.
The singing cast.
A long time ago.
Should we have a sing off, boys?
I don't think you want that.
No. That'd be brutal because Jamie's the fucking drummer sitting here and he's definitely a better singer than at least two is.
I can guarantee you I categorically can't sing. Jamie, just think you're the best singer in this room right now. Well, we'll see.
Aye. We'll have a challenge later on.
Aye.
So what was the thinking behind going down to London then? What was the plan?
I moved for love.
Ah, right, okay.
No money.
A wee relationship on the go.
I've got a wee bird, man. So that's nice.
I mean, I suppose that's pretty. Are you living with her?
Aye, it's full on.
I mean, that is full on. Like to embark upon a relationship and then straight into lockdown.
So it's kind of good. It's kind of like somebody's went fast forward to see if it works.
It's like being in Love Island, but without other folk to shag.
Aye, exactly.
Fair enough, man.
It's exactly like that, man. But it's been good, mate. I've enjoyed it. So turns out it does work. Hey.
Well, good. Glad to hear it, man. So for anybody who's not familiar with your music, how would you kind of describe the sound of the band and stuff like that?
You go, Jamie. We get asked this question all the time, and I always answer it. I can't be bothered. Do you answer
it? Right. I'll just say all the
things I would say. Aye. Right, go.
So the thing, like, you can't fed up describing us. You know what I mean? If you say to somebody it's Scottish hip hop or whatever. So we just say we're a rock band now.
just generic rock. We do rock stuff.
Nice.
I mean, like, I'm a fan personally. You'll see that I've got some of your stuff behind me.
What's that in the background? That's literally 2 albums there. You've got the first and third.
And the second one's behind that as well, because I've got LPs there, and I don't have a record player. You know what I mean? So
that's very nice, by the way. I very much appreciate that.
That isn't there for your benefit.
I was just going to say
that's always there.
You're like,
I'm serious.
Literally,
that's what it sits. Like, honestly, I can see other videos where that's it.
I mean,
that's awful nice. That.
I'm not like, you know, at the start I was supporting my wee pal Jamie because I was proud of him and all that. But I actually do really like your music. I'm a big fan, and I would recommend that the listeners give you a chance, because you've got some great tunes and stuff. And also, like, so
cheers, Gerry.
We are a kind of, you know, we talk a lot about news and politics on the podcast and stuff, and I think it's fair to say, like, you've got quite certainly maybe not political, but certainly a lot of kind of class commentary and stuff like that within your lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
The first album's called Class as well, so I guess that was a wee play in words.
Aye.
But do you think that politics has a place in music?
It's weird, man, because there's two sides to the coin. There's the people that say, shut the fuck up and just do music. Who you talk about that?
Aye.
Right? Which I suppose can have its point there. And there's the other side where it's like, if you've got a platform and a following, then you should maybe use your voice there. Where I stand on it is probably more on that side of things, but a lot of my lyrics are quite political in a sense, without being really on the nose. It's just more of, I'll give my opinion on it as opposed to, here's what you should do. I don't ever be like, well, don't listen to me if you fucking voted Tory, and I'll tell you why, or like, do you know what I mean? Regardless if that's how I feel or I don't, I'll give my view on it, and it's not preachy then.
Aye. Yeah.
So you can't really come. I'm just speaking my truth, or whatever the fuck it would be.
It's more about how it's affected you as an individual.
Aye, definitely.
You perceive it and stuff.
And loads of my stuff, which I maybe border on being a bit preachy, actually contradict myself, is when I talk about, like, I always talk about free movement. I'm always like, you know, I'm always for it's the one big land sort of thing.
I was raised to believe we're equal.
Exactly. Like, fucking proud of where I'm from, but I hold no nationality. Like, that's me at core, and certainly my pal Jamie there will be the exact same. So, like, the band has given us the best thing about the band is the travel.
Aye.
and getting to experience different cultures and people, and when you realise that we're all pretty much the same, really, we all just want the same thing, about peace and love and some fucking harmony, and that's what being in the band's taught me more than anything. I think travel stops any sort of racism, and for me anyway, that's how I view it.
Aye, like the old phrase, travel broadens the mind's a truism, man.
100%, man. It's like, and I even know from being younger, maybe it's just growing up, but like 15-year-old me compared to 30-year-old me now is obviously a different guy, but just I had travelled way less then. So like I just had, do you know what I mean? Like back in the day, how the Poles are going to take their jobs and all that. Like, are they? Aye.
If you take like America, like, because Americans stay in America, like for the most part, no, it's a blanket rule, but they travel within America, so they go on holiday, they fucking live up in, say, Washington State, they go down to fucking California for the holiday or whatever, or down to Florida, because it's the other side of the world in terms of climate and in terms of kind of culture and stuff like that for down there, but they're still in America. They never really leave America for the most part. So, and then when you've got, so you can still have class consciousness. So, like, I think that where we all grew up, there's a class consciousness is a thing that is kind of battered into you. Do you know what I mean? Anybody that lived in the shadow of the Ravens,
maybe quite literally.
Aye. But it doesn't. But there's still loads of people who, even though have got class consciousness, they don't. They're no travel. They've no experience the world. They don't see everything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. 100%. And you also, just another point there. I think like there's the type of kind of racial prejudice where it's like, oh, I don't. Irish shouldn't be coming out here, whatever. And but like, well, what about your man that works down the street in the shop down there? He's all right, but it's because they can put a name to that, you know, that face. They know that person. It's always the fear of the unknown, man. Do you know what I mean?
Aye, they also never process, like, the same people that you'll talk about, say, like, the Poles are coming out here and take our jobs, never go to, like, fucking Magaluf, and they're just like, every third bar's an Irish bar. Do you know what I mean? Like, they don't. They can't distinguish, like, or they do distinguish the difference between the two. They're just like, that's all right, because I'm on holiday, so that's no matter. Every fucking pub's owned by a British lad, doesn't matter in this case. But so it's mental. It's mental the way that people sit, like, just because they're kind of taught that way. I don't even know, because I was never taught that way, but I seen it all around me. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't know anybody whose dad was just like, you should hate foreigners coming over here. But at the same time, I still went to school with boys that had weird views on Eastern Europeans for no reason.
Aye, totally, man.
And it's coming from somewhere. I mean, like, you know, that's definitely something that's learned behaviour. We're not born with prejudice. You know what I mean?
No.
So, look,
if they've got some sort of uncle and took influence for that you've, do you know what I mean? If they've got an older relative that you would think they must be right. The way they're talking about it seems like they're right. So
aye, and whether that
I'll regurgitate that at school because they said that he's wrong or whatever.
Aye, everybody seems to agree with that guy. So when, I mean, you've travelled a lot with the band and stuff like that, and you've recently started podcasting, which, you know, so where can people hear that?
All right, and so we're 10 minutes into this, we're reading our first plug. This is fantastic. The podcast was started due to lockdown. Really, it was sort of as a way for us to communicate, because I mean I've not seen the boys since, sort of thing. So that's what I look forward to every week. On a Thursday we get together, we speak, we just talk shite and we put it into a podcast. Ours is kind of set up in a way that Jamie wrote a book called The LaFontaines Solve 12 of Life's Most Common Problems, and we turned the stories for that book into a kind of audio book, and Daz will sit and put the kind of sound effects to it and whatever else. And so at the start of the podcast, generally, we'll have a story from Jamie, then we'll go on to talk about it, we give our wee insight into it and things we remember for it, if it's any different to what Jamie said, and then we just go on our kind of usual tangents. Unlike this podcast, we don't really speak about anything of merit, we just talk shite, and it's really just a catch up with it we record.
But great stories in there as well, and I think which is why I brought it up, you know, because you've got a lot of stories about your travel and whatever, and you know, Jamie, and credit to him, a good writer. Like I read the book, and I took it. I work on the oil rig, so I took it offshore and I gave it. Nice. I passed it around all the guys out there and was like, you know, have a read of this. They all loved it. I thought it was a good laugh, you know. So, yeah,
there's never going to be a story that exists that makes me as happy as see the story with the story that you go to your brother's stag do, and you end up like you're messaging, like, because I remember it happening in real time at the time when you're messaging Jim telling him you're going to get back for the gig that night.
As in Turkey?
Turkey. Like, when I read through it, like the day you posted it or whatever, it's like, this is fucking mental. Like, this is such a good story, and from time to time it finds its way back onto my timeline. Do you know what I mean? Just as your grips, and it fills me with joy. Like, it's a joy. Like, I bring it up all the time if somebody's ever mentioning you or talking about the podcast, just like, this story, guys, you have to read it. You have to read it in Jamie's voice. Like, it's
see, a lot of it probably made more sense, but I just omitted the I think folk read it as if like I woke up in Turkey. Like, how the hell did I get here? It was like I was at the stag do and then I had a couple of £100, so it was like I'll go to Turkey. So I was already there for a few days. It was just trying to go home. I didn't have a flight sorted, and then that's when it kind of all went. Well, it went really well. It just actually the full thing went. It was like it was going to be perfect. Then it was eventually I was made all these flights and all these things, and the train get like aborted at Uddingston or something like that. So I was I nearly made it like from Turkey to the bottom of Turkey, then over to London up to Glasgow, and then I was just then the train get delayed at Uddingston, so I had to phone Jim and was like, nah, I'm not going to make it.
The funniest thing about the stories or Jamie is that people sometimes have to be in his presence, maybe we're all together, they'll kind of corner me like when it's just maybe me and them and sort of be trying like, is he like that really? like one of the ones like giving you the wink as if just tell me if that's an act, innit? I can honestly say for 12 years he's yet to fucking drop the act if it is one.
So like, there are times where you wish he had. Maybe.
Mate, oh my god, there's times I love him just about that. By the way, this is all a bam up. I'm actually obviously fucking well on it, and it's just easier for me to act like this. Because think about it, people buy me loads of free drinks, people look after me. It's so easy, but it's just the way it is. It's fucking insane.
It might have been nice if he hadn't been banned for playing at Tea in the Park that time as well.
I mean, it's really just a testament to my own fucking restraint that he's still in the band.
See, it's weird because people corner you and ask you if that's an act, but see the folk who know if you wish you, like all the folk that we all used to drink in the Lantern Bar and all that, because they all know Jamie, they hear the stories and just like, sounds like Jamie. You know?
Definitely.
It's quality.
But you can't fucking lay a lick in him, man. It's like he's shapeshift. He can just get, I've never met a boy like him, but to get back to that, he's got to his credit, he's got a very good talent for writing. I thoroughly enjoy his stories as well, and it's also always added to it by the fact that you're like, fuck, that's actually true. Like I remember the story you're talking about in particular, the Turkey one. We played at Belladrum just before that, and in the van we were kind of sitting out the side waiting to get our accreditation to get into the festival, and I went in his bag, I think, just while he was sitting there, pulled whatever it was in his bag, and it was like this big fucking Arabic flag or whatever, and then it was like in this book it was like all the ISIS propaganda.
Aye,
like,
it was
let me before it was to quickly jump in with the punchline that's so you don't know switch off and go get these boys fucking hardcore. He was reading it for research purposes, he said. we were like, that's what the audio is, I suppose. But,
is that not what Pete Townsend said when he got caught with child porn? Like
research. I was just genuinely really interested.
Curious,
not a bit joining or whatever. Just like I would say radical Islam would be my mastermind subject.
Aye, absolutely.
Radical Islam and North Korea, that's the two things that I just seem to know a lot about.
That would be a pretty terrifying round on Mastermind, like just everything right as well, no passing.
But I remember pulling out of his bag, and that's what he get when he was in Turkey at the customs. He had one of the things in his bag. I'm just like, it happens to anybody else. They're still in Turkey, they know, in jail.
Yeah. And,
I think the flag's the problem with that one. It's not even so much the book that you were researching. It's like, what did you bring the flag for on top of it? Like that's like one of them makes it look like you're right into it, and it's not.
It was to hang on the stage at Belladrum.
It was a Kurdish one. It was like a YPG one. Or something like that. For a while, I was right into the Kurds. I still do support the Kurds, but I was going to meetings in Glasgow and all that with them.
I like the way. I'm a big fan of the way. So when you're getting your fucking bag searched, did you just shout Al Akbar or anything like that as well, just to see if you could end up in the jail or what? How did you get away with that?
No, I mean we'll come back to London and they were asked because they had a Dear Leader book about Kim Jong-un. And the police were trying to make it out, they were just wondering if I'd brought back fags, but they were like asking why I was in Turkey myself, and I didn't have an answer. Like, I didn't have an answer. Like, I don't know.
Because I'm Jamie.
I was just there. I'm playing at the commercial tonight. Jim McNulty.
I don't know. It's not a great answer to custom officials either, is it?
No.
No, I was just saying I was just travelling. I just wanted to see Istanbul, which I did.
Fair play. So, you've been at it then for 3 albums, a good few years. You've toured around the place and stuff like that. You've kind of lost a few members along the way and had a few lineup changes and stuff as well. So,
sounds like a verse to Caledonia.
So, like, you know, what's the plan next? Are you working on a new album?
Right now there was about 35 instrumentals kicking about there for the new album, and I'm about to start writing it, sort of thing. I suppose I should have been writing during lockdown, but I kind of put my arse in. There was like, lockdown's happening, I've got to finish my novel and fucking all that. I was like, fuck that, I'm going to like play a computer game or something.
Aye, because I can.
Well, where's the inspiration either? Do you know what I mean? Like, you're not getting inspired like four was around you and a TV for fucking 3 months.
That's not how I write, man, as well. So
an album of songs about being stuck in the house with your new band.
Aye. Oh, it's going really well. That's the
The honeymoon.
So, like, do you think that it's more difficult than it was, say, 20, 25 years ago to make a living from music?
I think 20, 25 years ago, you would need to be speaking to my PR person to try and get this interview.
Aye.
I was obviously trying to joke, I didn't mean to be wide there, but I mean, like,
but I mean,
realistically, like, if you'd say to me, we were a band 12 years, so, 15-year-old Kerr, if you said to, would have been like, if time you're selling out few thousand people, venues like Dana Barras, even 2,000 people, or playing in India and fucking going to America and or Europe and selling out shows, or you had a top 40 album, do you think you'll be making a good living after that? Bearing in mind that at this time, fucking P. Diddy's shooting videos with Ben fucking Stiller in it and all that, and like there's going to boot in big, like music videos were like a couple of million quid was a budget for a music video, as opposed to a major label music video now is like top bracket 30k, our bracket 45 grand, with favours upon favours. Do you know what I mean? So back then I'd have been like 100% you'll be living. Fast forward to the current day where you 1 million streams in Spotify gets you $5 grand, $6 grand at a push. Split that with your band, your manager, your label. You're onto fucking buttons, man.
Is that why you keep shedding members, or just
100%? It's just smart. Like as you get older, you start to learn these things. So the next one, it goes Jamie, and it'll just be me and Daz DJing, and then I'll go solo. 5th album, I'll be solo. And I can maybe make a living.
but there's like there's a real issue where, you know, essentially you're making it more and more difficult for like working class people to become musicians and like make a living out of it. Like, it's okay
100%.
A trust fund baby or whatever, you know, and you can afford to not work and still make music, but for folk who need to you know, put a roof over their head and pay the bills and stuff, it's not easy to do what you guys are doing.
The only reason we're still where we are, because we don't come from that, is because we've sacrificed a lot. So, in the sense of, I've no, like, and it kind of becomes evident now, and you're hitting 30 with your pals are all married with Waynes and get houses and all that. Like, I just moved in here with my bud, but like, I stayed with my mum and dad. I mean, I had a flat with John for the band for a while until we couldn't afford it. We were on tour all the time. Moving back in with my mum and dad, you just sacrifice loads of things that, like, materialistic things, really. So already it's already a kind of game where like the working class, unless you hit it between 18 to 21, you anybody over the age of that is kind of already at the game, unless they're willing to make all these sacrifices and just go full on at it. Because, and by the way, even with this fucking the plague that's hit, like there'll be people that will come out of this that there'll not be a band anymore. I remember that Musicians Union fund went up with like 5 million quid in it. Three days later, it's drained. There's no money left in 3 days. Like, and as a whole other issue, if you look at like France and Germany, how they're funding their arts compared to us, we're on our arse. And it's because it's constantly expected over here that like it's just this self-help sort of industry where like, oh, like even this, man, fuck, I could go on about this forever, but like the lockdown happened and suddenly it's like, right, musicians, give us some entertainment. What the fuck are we meant to be doing then? Like, how, do you know what I mean? Like,
you're going to pay us for it?
How? No, of course not going to pay for it. That'd be fucking mental.
I've got a good couple of messages in my inbox, and they're just simple things, but just like, can you send a message to my friend?
Aye.
She loves you and all that.
The amount, and that's sound, by the way, you're all good for that. Like, I've Millsy, like, can you send a birthday message or whatever? Fine, but it's like, it's well, I mean, we set up a Patreon account, whatever it is, for our podcast which basically just operates in an element of soundness. If you can afford to give us a couple of quid every month, like a price of a pint or a coffee, please do, because
it's exactly the same as us.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean? You'll get the stuff for free, but if you can afford it, fire us some dough so we can keep doing it, because we're not making any money now at all. The only way we can survive as a band is gigging and then merch, and fucking factories were shut down for the pandemic to make the merch, so that was the game. And all the giggings, like we were meant to be in Russia China this year, all that stuff like that's all gone. So
just all the dodgy countries you were planning on.
I just all the best places, really.
just doing all the communist countries.
Turkey.
But again, no, cool, because it's somewhere that a lot of people would never get the chance to go to.
But that's it. But in your head, it's such a head fuck, because like if you're asking me, would you still do that for no pay? The answer is aye. But I'm effectively doing it for no pay anyway. So I'm proof of that. But it's.
Well, the thing is as well, you actually hit the nail on the head when you were talking about funding of the arts across the board in the UK. Like a good example is that I'm going to fucking say the wrong place, but it's like the Cardiff fucking Symphonic Orchestra or fucking Polyphonic Orchestra or whatever it is, have all just been fucking axed. They've all just been sacked because they've not got any funding. Now they're like the second or third most respected fucking orchestra in the UK, and there's no funding going to them, you know what I mean? So when you're then talking about bands who are unable to chase money, do you know what I mean? Like we can pay fucking 900 grand for a fucking paint job in a plane though.
Yeah, and you've got a government at the minute which traditionally, like the Conservatives traditionally don't value the arts. You know, when Thatcher was in, art funding was at a fucking all-time low. At the minute, it's similar, and a society that doesn't value art, you know, can quite quickly become a pretty soulless society. You know what I mean? It's a camaraderie thing as well. You know, going to a gig, going to the theatre, I suppose, if that's your thing, or you know, going to a street performance, going to maybe the Edinburgh Festival or a comedy gig or whatever. It bonds people. It brings them together. It develops a sense of community. If none of that stuff's there anymore, then you know, maybe we are all just individuals sat in our houses.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens at the back end of this, man, because I don't think things will be the same necessarily. And like, if you look at us, like our next gig, thankfully we've got a gig this year, but our next gig is a drive-in gig, like a drive-by gig.
I've seen that. It's you're not playing it like the Ingliston or whatever outside Edinburgh, is that it?
Just at the airport.
Aye.
So people can pull up in their car, get out their car in their parking space and dance. I don't know what happens there. But I mean, by the way, sorry, if you listen, please come. And I guarantee we'll make it one to remember and all that. But and I think that's needed though. That's the kind of the gap to get it going again. Because like already I've had boys text me like my lighting guys and my sound guys giving it right. Are we on then? Is this a goer? Do you need a lighting guy? Do you need a lamp page? So that's good. That will start to kick that economy going again.
Can everybody not just put their headlights on?
Aye, well, that's if you're sad song, put your washers on. If you've got
no, but but that's it. That's the other thing as well. It's not just performers that are out of work and stuff at the minute. It's
full team, man. Aye,
yeah.
Sure. It's a weird time.
As in, see, the thing is, like, I imagine it'll still be. I've no doubt you'll have the gig jumping or that. But for anyone who's been, especially like anyone who's been to see you guys at the Civic Centre or the Barras because of the Civic Centre being the most local gig you could possibly play at, and the Barras being the Barras, like it's very intimate and sweaty and compact thing that goes on. Do you know what I mean? Like it's no to translate that to everyday social.
Well, it's easy. We just get the motors to go bumper to bumper like that. And
these sunroofs open or it.
Aye. Everybody open their back doors and can crawl through the motor to motor. Pickup trucks would be good.
It might even be that by September when we're doing it, it's a bit more relaxed again, and a few more people can come or whatever.
Yeah. That's it. I mean, that is kind of changing week on week at the minute, isn't it? Like, you know, they're sort of talking about schools going back full throttle in August and whatever. So you don't know what's got to change. And luckily, Scotland's numbers certainly have been pretty good so far. So hopefully it keeps going that way. So what's the date for the gig and how can folk get tickets for that?
So you can drive to the gig. And it's the 4th of September. So bring you and all your family and let's all get the pandemic
family
together.
Or immediate bubble.
Yes, immediate bubble. Aye.
Like two families that you know.
Aye. The 4th of September. And where is it, Jamie? Edinburgh? Whereabouts?
Ingliston, just the Royal Highland Centre, just next to Edinburgh Airport.
It's where they have the Highland Show and that, isn't it?
Aye, they have colours and that there as well.
They have Colours Fest. Aye, they have the big. They have a couple of the big trance nights and fucking. I say that as if I'm like a massive trance. You know what I mean? Like, boys, they have a couple of the nights that I'm going to all the time, man. Do you know what I mean? Like pure.
Trance head.
All there with the white gloves on and that. So, and the new album's getting worked on. You've got the podcast going. What else? You know what else is in there?
Happening.
I suppose it's difficult for you to plan gigs and tours and stuff like that.
Well, we're trying to kind of sort that out now because everything's just kind of been moved back a year for everybody. So you're trying to find, like originally probably next year would have been our next album anyway, and we would have had our biggest headline show next year. So we just kind of need to make that happen, but without the same amount of kind of momentum going into it as we would have had. Also, next year, it's just the nature that you'll be fighting with so much noise. Everybody will be out with, everybody who can or who survive will be out with their new material next year. So it'll be a very different landscape even then. But next year we want to put on our biggest headline show in Glasgow. Go back to Europe again. I want to go to Russia, China, India. I just want to do all that stuff and get new music out. Maybe put 2 albums out next year. Saying that, having not written one word. But I'm sure I'll get there.
That's all right. You said you got 35 tracks or so.
The music's there. The music, I've got fuck all to say.
So when it comes to lyrics and stuff like that, obviously you write the raps and whatever. Do you also write the words for the hooks and whatever that Jamie sings, or does Jamie write that?
No, I bet Jamie and I'll both kind of go on it, and then it's refining what Jamie likes to maybe sing, if you know what I mean. Like think certain words that'll just sound better when he sings it, as opposed to, it's kind of weird, but we get, it'll always be of the same subject anyway. So, because I like to try and I like the fact that as a rapper, I can stick to the same subject for a full song as opposed to a lot of rap, which is just know that.
Same things.
Just say stuff that rhymes.
Every rhyme is a different. Why are we talking about this? That's weird.
You're obviously a pretty big like hip hop rap fan yourself. Like, who's the artist that you're into for that side of things?
My favourite lyricist is Andre 3000 for Outkast. And it's probably and I really like the guy we toured with, who I listen to all the time, is that Anderson .Paak.
Anderson .Paak. I saw you in Dublin because Jamie gave me a shout. I happened to be in Dublin at the time, and I came and seen you when you played with him. He's brilliant. He's really good, man.
I actually had tickets for Dublin the last time he's played there as well, but some stuff happened in my personal life that meant I couldn't go. But I was going to be going to a Dublin gig there as well.
Dublin's good for us.
Next time you're if you fancy a trip, you'll be on the list, boys.
On the list, I do.
What was
on the list of people to pay extremely much more.
On the list of dads that are going to show up.
I remember they can't say we did their podcast for fuck all. They could fucking charge him double. So what was the kind of maybe your favourite gig that you've played in? You've played all over the place. What is there one that sticks out to you?
You go first, Jamie, in case you cut off. Go.
The first time we played at I think it was the first time we headlined the Barras.
Aye.
That 2015, just after class, was it?
Mm-hmm.
It was just the perfect gig.
Aye, because like a lot of the nights, a lot of things you build up in your head. Like I remember the first time we played Tea in the Park or the things like that. Sometimes you build them up so much in your head. Like when we've done our first big headline show at ABC, was like over 1,000. That was massive for us. But it felt flat to us. It was sort of like, whereas that gig he's talking about, it's very rare that you all come off stage together and maybe because usually like I couldn't hear that fucking like that, so we'll maybe come off buzzing, but Daz is like, nah, it was shite for me, my sound was shite or whatever, but we all come off that night being like, that was the one, that was a rare kind of time. But the bar is, for me as well, we've had like when we've played India, like that was so surreal, man. Played in this big stage, it looked like Tomorrowland stage. It looked like something Disney had created.
Right.
Thousands and thousands of people going super futuristic music, man. Like they loved it so much. That's what we're calling it. And like that was fucking amazing. Or with Thailand, there was really good. Or even like one of the gigs. Remember we played Liverpool to like 4 people, and we played the best we'd ever played.
I think it was 13 people.
13 people. I'm underselling it, but it was just the best gig.
I was just like, nobody was necessarily going crazy or whatever, but we just played amazing. It was just that same feeling of going, that's how it's there.
The thing is, there's a removal of pressure, isn't there? Like, so you've got 13 people that are there, like, know that you have no intention of impressing those 13 people, but like you've got 2,000 people staring at you. You make a mistake or you trip up, or you know what I mean? You like.
You're right, pressure's away. To be fair though, as well, I always feel like when it's more people, I find it easier than when there's less. Because like less people, like if I'm performing for you 3 now, I can see in your eyes what you're thinking.
If one person's disinterested, then it's really apparent. Whereas
100%. Thousands that look at somebody else. I've played times I played like fucking like literally 1,000 people, but like, and there's one guy going like that or something. I'm like, don't need to look at you there. So
yeah. Have you actually seen that? Yeah, you got the crowd and somebody just give you the finger.
100%, like playing for like, yeah, fuck it, or they're going like making faces like as if like, look at this, like actively detesting you. That you can see that they don't just not like you, they quite possibly hate you.
The thing is, that's a total surreal sequence of events, because how did he
why are you even
how did he get close enough to that scenario where it's like, I'm glad that I'm down the front now I can show how much I don't want to be here. Just don't be there, man. Just don't be there. Just go up the road. Fuck.
I know.
We're back in 1 second.
You won't be missed.
So when you were talking about
I'm going to get a beer then. I'm going to get a beer quick.
When you were talking about travelling about and how that changes your experience and stuff, I thought he was in his boxers there when he was.
I was like, that's a very comfortable podcast.
Very laid back. No, so what was, I mean, I know, so I spoke to you, I was in the pub with Jamie just like the day after or 2 days after you got back to India.
Mhm.
So I spoke to him about India in real time then. He was telling me the stories and that. So I don't even need to know them, but I mean, our listeners probably want to fucking hear that. But like, where did you go? Did you go anywhere when you found?
Well, India's a place that I remember we went to Morocco to shoot a video for the song King on Class. And I remember thinking, I think it was on Jamie's recommendation actually. And I remember getting off the plane and being like, we should have just went to fucking Benidorm or something here. Man, this place is mental, like totally mental. But wait, having been to Morocco, I was like, well, I'll be prepared for India. I assume it'll be like that. Turns out it's nothing like that. It's like that on crack cocaine. It's fucking mental. So it's also, I've never seen so much wealth next to so much poverty, like right next door to each other. That's a really surreal thing to experience. That, like, literally this palace, and then next to it, it's the guy sleeping on, I don't know, a bin or like fucking the road or something. It's weird as fuck.
Well, weirdly, Jamie said something very similar. Like when we were, like I said, so he was with us in the pub just after he came back, and that was one of the things he said. He was like, I'm in a hotel room and I've ordered like room service, so they brought me up a steak, and I walk out onto the balcony and I'm eating a steak on the balcony and I'm looking down, and the thing that is next to me is just like a slum town that's there to the left hand side of my balcony, and I'm sitting fucking X amount of floors up eating a fucking steak on the balcony. He's like, this is mental. Like the difference between the two of them. Like,
it's that juxtaposition that makes you feel uncomfortable.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? But it's like
a sense of perspective as well, though, in your own life. Like even though like there might be times where you think you're a wee bit hard on your luck, or you know, it's shite. I've not got a lot of money. Relatively speaking, we're all still pretty fucking well off.
Relatively speaking, you are winning, mate. Yeah. Or like we are winning anyway. The fact that we can sit in the warm fair house and just talk on the internet about ourselves here is pretty fucking nice, man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like it's also though all the experiences. Like if I don't know, I think if I had been maybe 16, 17, like 17, 18, if we had just became a band with instant success like that, could quite easily have been a different person. I think, I don't know, just been reflective. I think I could have been like, fucking, well, we must be brilliant. We must be absolutely great. Where there's like being 12 years deep, understanding the graft and the hard work it takes. For us anyway, sometimes you can be lucky to get to this point and to see all the things we've seen. Like, I feel quite balanced in my life in terms of what I deem essential, what I need, what I want, and what will make me happy. And I feel like I've not reached the top of the tree, but I don't really need to be like, all I want is to just make enough to survive being a musician. That's all I'm really asking for is that, you know. I'm quite happy with that.
Do you ever get you ever get annoyed or pissed off? Do you ever feel that you should kind of be more successful than you are, or maybe not more successful, maybe more commercially successful or more widely known? The reason that I say that is because my wife, like, you'll often be on in the car or in the kitchen or whatever, and she'll listen. Like, you've got incredibly catchy hooks. You've got interesting, insightful lyrics and stuff like that. And then, like, the missus will like hear a chorus or whatever, and she'll just turn it to me and she'll be like, "How are they no fucking massive? How are
she's nice. Tell her I'll give her a $5 when I see her again.
How are they not getting played on Radio 1 and whatever? You know what I mean? Like, does stuff like that ever annoy you?
I'd be lying if I said no, because it is annoying when you see some thing you deem as shite. Going, but what's more annoying about it is the what's refreshing is, see, when we go to like Germany or France or anywhere in Europe really, it feels like when we play a festival there or we play a show there, the punter, the Joe Blogg comes, they see it, and like, that's what matters. If they see it and they like it, they go, I'm into that. And then you go back and tour there and you'll see them at your show.
Yeah.
And it's mega. There's a big man back. But over here, what needs to happen is the Guardian need to Hello. Hi, mate. I interrupt a very important story. You're also on a weird fucking turn your phone.
You're at the wrong angle to everybody.
Everybody's doing that. What needs to happen here is the Guardian need to say this is good, and then Six Music maybe need to get behind it, or Radio 1 needs to get behind it. You need to have all these people co-signing it before to get the stamp of approval before they even give you your time of day. So that's frustrating, because especially for a band like us who somewhere like Radio 1, or Radio 1's a great example. Radio 1 don't want to be seen as being late to something. So if they start championing their music now, 12 years in, they're seriously late on that. So that's not a good look for them at all. So we might as well just write off Radio 1. That's not going to happen for us. Right. In fact, whereas like over in Europe, it feels like that doesn't matter. Maybe the fact that we're a kudos of being a British band helps us over there right after the bat. But they just seem to like what they see, and then they come and watch it and they buy a record, and that's the difference. Whereas over here, you need the constant co-sign, the stamp of approval. I remember we fucking on the last record, Junior, the song Up got its first play in Annie Mac, and we just touched down in Germany. So before I left, it was getting played on Radio 1, Mega, One on the Flight, buzzing.
Busy, I'm blessed, life on the road. I've been riding round the city, making waves on my own. I've been causing plenty havoc, though my pockets are bare. With just a kick in the snare, I lift you off of your chair. I'm coming up, fucking 9-5, feeling alive. I've been 0 to 100 since I put it in drive. I've been cautious, overthinking like I'm waiting on green. Since I stepped on the scene, I've been steady chasing a dream. I'm coming up.
And I tweeted something like, cheers for Annie Mac for the spin. Let them know if you're into it, sort of thing. Literally was what I tweeted. As soon as I landed, I got a call from my manager being like, Radio 1 aren't happy about that because there was I'd said, let them know if you're happy about that. So because I was driving traffic to their fucking site, that annoyed.
That's mental.
What effectively happened is, I reckon, I tagged Annie Mac in it. I think she kept getting notified on her phone. Or she
was raging about it.
She was annoyed, and we get fucking. That was the last Radio 1 play we had. Rewind back to like 10 years ago when we were 3 years late playing Tea in the Park because Vic Galloway actively didn't like me. So even though they're meant to be impartial champions of music, it's quite good as well being at a level now where I'm like, we're a big enough band that I can literally just say that and not need to worry about any repercussions. I don't give a fuck what Vic Galloway does for us.
Why did he not like you?
Well, here's a story. So I went into do a session with Twin Atlantic on his show, and we were doing an example cover, Kickstarts. Anyway, I'll try and keep this brief. He came down and fucking he came in, and Sam or Craig said, this is Kerr from LaFontaines. He's in doing the rap on the example song we're going to do today. And Vic was like, I was like, all right. Never said nothing. Kept talking about it and all that. That was fine. But Craig, I remember Craig from Twin looking at me as if to say, why did that just happen? That's very strange. Especially Craig, one of the nicest guys in music. Rudeness is a thing that doesn't happen in his fucking vision. Anyway, then something happened. Somebody had to talk about selling out, and he goes, yeah, I really hate people that sell out. And he kept looking at me like that. Like, this time, put one song out or something at this point with the band. And he was blatantly just going at me. He was getting furious. So I was like, well, that's a bit funny then, isn't it? Considering you do voiceovers for fucking car commercials. And I was selling it.
Did you say that?
I said that. And he went raging and left. Raging. Fast forward to, we get put forward for the tea break submission, and we're getting told we've got to be in the tea break.
Oh, there's a connection with Gerry and Paul and about this. Kaylee McGinn.
Aye.
She was doing the bar for the tea break panel, so there was like 12 of them, and it was a closed bar, a closed room. She told me this a few weeks after, or maybe before we played at T in the Park. But she told me after the vote at time, she's going to have to do the bath for it, and it was 6-6, and she had the deciding vote, and she had the kid on that she didn't know us.
To get you in.
And she got us in, but she told me, she was like, that Vic Galloway was saying if they get picked, I'm not doing the panel, and they stopped doing the panel.
What the fuck, man?
What a fucking roaster! Like, I mean, imagine having that much like
But that's the power. So they're meant to be impartial, right? So like it's that's what that's meant to be now. And listen, how I can really back this up is I do a BBC show called Tune, where I present it. 90% of that, 85% of that stuff on that, I don't like. I do not like.
So remember that next time you're watching it, folks.
So next time you're watching it, I'm saying, great band.
There's an 85% chance it's no.
There's 85%. I fucking don't like this band.
Right.
But I'm there to present a broad spectrum of music, which, so it's fucking annoying, especially if you're a young band coming up, just try to get a fucking, because we were constantly met with closed doors because of what we'd done. We did just see the industry seems to, it always claims it wants something new and fresh. It does not. It wants the same thing repackaged so they can put the same machine behind it all the time. So we come along, we don't fit that box. That poses a problem. That means some people, somebody there needs to come up with some sort of what needs to work it, and that's they don't like that.
Yeah, I suppose as well, like for like promoters or whatever, A&R guy, I don't know who the fuck, but put together you guys on like a bill and stuff like that might be a bit more difficult. Exactly where to put yous. Like, are they going to appeal to rap fans specifically, or are they going to appeal more to rock fan or whatever? Maybe just country like good music, you know. But
I know, but
like you say, it takes a bit more effort, a bit more thinking than it does to just pick up the next pre-packaged fucking.
Exactly, like whoever's popping, Ed Sheeran's popping, just find another acoustic guy and fire it. That's like, you see it happening all the time. I've been in a room long enough to see it happen, and by the way, I'm not bad about it. It's just fucking what it is.
Well, I mean, that's the rule.
I mean, it was me that asked you. So
I done music industry management at Stowe College, fucking a million years ago now, and that was one of the things that they taught us. That essentially, that's how it works. You take someone like Ed Sheeran. Everybody likes Ed Sheeran, so you go and you find 20 bands that are Ed Sheeran, or 20 guys that are Ed Sheeran, or something similar. Sign them all for like an album, put all their albums out, and you'll get one or two that will return the money, and you'll then take the hit.
That's it. Aye.
You just find as much of that shit as you can and drag it out. Just because that's the thing that you want to promote for the next 2 years.
You see all the time, like this fucking marimba kind of shit that's in me with the like or Afrobeat shit or whatever. Like, I like it, but like as soon as it comes out and it pops, the radio is just fully, like, if you listen to Capital Radio,
it's the worst.
It is the worst, but it's just the same. I mean, it's about the same 6 songs, but they all sound the same. So
there's absolutely no danger I'll be listening to Capital Radio in a million fucking years.
But do you know what I mean? Like, to even dare think that there's any chance of us getting on that, you're just backing a lost horse, the wrong horse that's in the race. It's not going to happen. So that's how. On the other hand, as shite as Spotify is for paying you fucking 4 hate me's per stream, if you go on a good playlist or the algorithm works in your favour, or like somehow it gets in the hands of somebody else, that can become your radio in a way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How have you seen Scottish? So I was just going to say, how have you seen Scottish hip hop change in the last 12 years? Because I'm a hip hop fan, like I'm a rap fan, you know what I mean? I always have been. So, and before I was 20, certainly, you didn't have Scottish hip hop. I mean, it didn't exist. It might have existed in the fucking arse end at Easter House with a couple of boys, but it didn't exist. You know what I mean?
100%, man. It was we had a conversation with us not too long ago where it was like, I started off rapping in an American accent, because that's all I knew. Like, that we weren't exposed to like even Dizzy Rascal, or like the first kind of English hip hop I heard was Roll Deep, and that was on Channel U.
Right.
And then
Roots Manoeuvre and that.
Roots Manoeuvre, but even then, that was a wee bit like I was maybe too young to catch that for just by like a year or two, almost like a Dizzy was like kind of Roll Deep and Dizzy were the first that I'd heard. So I was introduced to hip hop by the cliched Eminem, and then I went to 50 Cent, and then I started to get into like fucking Slum Village or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, but at the start, it was all the classic ones that just infiltrated your school. The same way like Linkin Park did. It bridged the gap between rock guys and Neds. Like,
somebody had a matching hoodie, even though they fucking
100%.
They were different ends of the spectrum.
All the bands, self-included, about singing Crawling. You're like, what?
I don't want to interrupt you, but just if anybody's looking for a laugh, then I would recommend listening to the episode where the LaFontaines kind of listen to some of your older stuff when you're rapping in American and that, because it's a bit of a giggle.
Oh, our stuff. Prime, my alias Prime, he was the definition of peak condition, the evil Scotsman.
but you've got folk like Shogun and fucking
the new breed, man. They're like that who are doing or had done amazing. I don't know. He went to jail, that guy, for a bit.
He did.
But so like I was influenced heavily by American hip hop, and then so the Scottish hip hop that I knew was kind of like at that time would have been like Loki. He was the only guy I knew, and
been on the show twice.
We know Dan quite well.
Nice, man. So like fucking
Loki. Back in there.
Aye, probably Safari.
Aye. Yeah, superb.
So top boy. So like Loki, Respect BA. Who's all the OGs? Fucking who's the guy? He's got a radio station. Stegmaster G is a first. I forget. Steggy G. That was all I knew. So I never knew about them really. And then rapping with an American accent, I certainly wasn't accepted into that. So I just kind of found the boys who like Finlay, who was at school with me, and then Daz, who I knew from being younger, and then I heard about Jamie, and then we formed the LaFontaines. No try to be like, actually initially thought they were coming to be my batting band, which I was wrong about. Thank fuck, I was wrong about. And the initial way I was going to do it was I was going to rap Scottish and some words American. That's how I was going to bridge the gap, because I had no idea how to rap in my own accent. I had no idea. That sounds mental, but
no. But I mean, it's become a lot more accepted for UK artists to rap with their own accents in the last.
Oh well, now
the crime scene and stuff like that.
No, you would be laughed out the door if you done that, and rightly so. But it was because it was just. But it just wasn't anything.
It was the same for me. Like we were talking earlier about when we were in bands and stuff like that. We all used to sing in American accents as well. As I got older and I was playing like acoustic stuff and all that in Edinburgh with my mates when I was at uni, I started singing in a Scottish accent because I was like, why should I not be? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you had in the 70s, you had like the Jam and the Sex Pistols and all these English bands. It's totally accepted. And Blur even, like, it's totally accepted for an English band to sing with an English accent, but like other than the Proclaimers for a long time, it just didn't really happen. I think it's a bit more prevalent now, and I think that's a positive thing.
With Twin Atlantic and Biffy Clyro and various other bands that existed that are predominantly, I mean, most of them sound like they're from the East Coast, but essentially they still have a Scottish accent nonetheless, you know what I mean? Like, but that's something that I hadn't heard until I was in my, until I was in my like late teens, early 20s. The bands didn't exist that sounded Scottish. They sounded like bands, you know what I mean? They sounded like a generic band sound. That's the noise a band makes.
Exactly. Could be from, they were stateless. They could be from anywhere in the States. Even though now though, we'll still get, when it goes to radio, like they'll hear Jamie singing the chorus, they'll be like, oh, fantastic, that's really good. And then I'll come in, and for the feedback I get for radio pluggers is like, oh, what's that? What's turn that off. Do you know what I mean? It's like, and our radio pluggers are constantly trying to get me to make radio edits where like they just.
It's just you in it for one.
I'm in it for like
just Jamie singing
4 bars. I'm like, so it just goes. It's almost like the radio mix. I mean, we don't get played on radio because it just always send them as one big chorus.
No, but the thing is, it's actually we speak about it from a news point of view and from a media point of view, and with a couple of different folk we've interviewed before. There's a big issue that exists where going back to like class consciousness and all that kind of stuff, like there's an issue where all the people who end up in media, who end up with TV, who end up as news reporters, all come from at least a middle, not all of them, that's not fair, but most of them come from
vast majority,
at least middle class background, people that can have unpaid interns and people who can go to university for 4 years down in London and pay for their tuition fee and all these other things, which means that you don't hear people from fucking Glasgow on TV in England. Like, I mean, you maybe do if they've got a Glaswegian character who sounds like he's from Glasgow. But you don't just get like a person.
Somebody is our EastEnders who happens to like be beating their wife and drinking too much.
Like they've got like some heroin addict that they've brought in.
It's the token guy, man. That
doesn't exist across the board. So in media, people aren't used to hearing the noise, if you will, that fucking comes out of our faces. So then,
literally, like that BBC show I do, like it obviously needs to get punted in the BBC, and all the time, anybody that's no work for me, the first thing they say, his accent's awful strong, isn't it?
And that's you, probably.
That's me fucking fixing it.
They should hear us in the pub.
This is the best I can do.
They should hear us out in the pub on a Saturday, like late on. You know what I mean?
I'm like, that's my accent fixed, you fucking dick.
See when I was doing the extra in River City a few months ago, I was a hospital porter. But it was just like some of the lines that the characters would be saying to each other in River City, and it was one woman just going, "Oh, you shut your bahookie."
But see,
that's just one example. But
I remember seeing you on it was like maybe a BBC The Social thing or that a wee while ago, where you were talking about the Teenage Fan Club album, and you know how it was like a great album and it made you happy and all that. And you had subtitles. I know. I was like, what the fuck's going on? It's just Jamie talking, man. Why does he need subtitles?
Subtitles. But there is also another problem that we've discussed before that we've came up against, which is like, see when you bring programming to one of the big programmers, being tasteful because he's chatting on that, but like the idea that it's no Scottish, so like, what has this got to do with Scotland? It's like every day in Scotland, Disney just put on the TV to watch Scottish things. Like we're not just like putting on the TV and it's like this cunt better beating Taggis fucking wearing a kilt or I'm not going to fucking watch it.
100%, man. I'm constantly when I'm in the meetings, whatever, I have that like that conversation. I have never wore a fucking kilt, by the way. And I'm sure, but it's not as if that's how we go about daily.
Aye.
No. But I mean, if
I had legs for it, by the way, I would wear a kilt. I just have budgie legs. That's my problem.
I've got cracky tattoos in the bottom of my legs, so I've got a kilt.
Me and Paul have done the kind of podcast stuff and whatever at a festival down outside London the last couple of years, and we always get down in our kilts and make a big thing about wearing our kilts because we're just playing on the stereotype.
Well, you might as well. Aye. You can do your Iron Brew and all that as well.
No, but we did
4 bottles of Bucky we took the last time.
And we also had our ski and do's. And it was like, where it's like, well, this is your culture. If you tell me you're into this, then you're being xenophobic at this point.
We got everybody in the VIP bar fucking drinking Bucky. It was hilarious, man.
That's class, man.
All these whistleblowers and journalists and all that fucking on the Bucky. It was funny, man.
Whistleblowers.
But
seriously though, genuinely.
But it is
Edward Snowden.
I mean, no far off it. Like,
look, the Cambridge Analytica boys and Chris Wiley and like Shamir Sani, the guy who like blew the whistle on Vote Leave and whatever. He's been on the show. He's been on the show, but yeah, we had. You're in good company. You're in good company on here.
Like, that's amazing, man. That's amazing.
I had the tonic at the bar, and I was like, because I got to know the guys who own the bar anyway. Actually, I've worked in his bar since then down south, but. I'm like, Shamir, drink this. And he's like, no. I was like, Shamir, drink this. No, Shamir, drink this. So eventually he was like, all right, pull out a cup. I was like, you're not fucking drinking my tonic.
Drink it in a bottle.
What the fuck is that?
He's a lovely guy.
But as kind of what we were just touching on there was, there is the very new scenario where programming has to be Scottish. Like, is this about Scotland? Like, the people in Scotland only want to watch a TV programme based in Glasgow rather than a TV programme based in Bristol that's written by a bunch of Scottish writers. Do you know?
Aye.
It's mental.
Have you have you ever thought about turning the kind of the stories about your exploits that Jamie's written down in that into a script or anything like that, making a sitcom or doing that kind of thing?
Well, actually, we've just signed off on a. Well, we signed off. Kerr, he knows more about it than me. I just write things in a script, and then Kerr puts it into a script.
That's completely not true. He knows exactly the same amount as me. That's Jamie being one of his Jamie-isms again then. Go on. I actually can't be asked telling this story. Kerr, go, you tell it.
Kerr, is he like that? Is he really like that?
You can tell it much better. But we've wrote a script. We've wrote a sort of pilot episode and a treatment for a series called Class, and it's about a busker for Wishy.
Who's it based on?
I know
He's radio DJ pal.
He's got Donnie, he's called.
He's Turkish.
So it's pretty much it's exactly our tales. So basically, what happened was the book he wrote, LaFontaines Solved 12 of Life's Most Common Problems, was
available on the LaFontaines website.
Fantastic. Yeah, thank you very much. We that got in the hands of a guy who'd just done a screenplay with Idris Elba, and he said, "This is great writing." It's like Irvin Welsh. He said, "Who wrote this? Can you get him down here? We have a meeting." So, long story short, we ended up in this big London boardroom talking with this production company, and I remember the guy's going, and I'll put my accent on again. The guy sounds nothing like this, but Jamie always laughs when I tell this story. He goes, "Fantastic screenplay, boys. Could you turn this into a script?" And then Jamie's like, "I'm like, fucking, of course we could. And I go, "How much would it take?" And then Jamie's like, "Well, my rent's about 150. I'm like 10 grand. It would cost 10 grand just to get us to even get a sniff at this. Oh, it's a bit high, boys. Can we meet out? So we met somebody in the middle. Anyway, so Jamie and I went away up to Loch Lomond to write a script. The first thing we'd done before we wrote it was Google how to write script. And then, so we wrote a script in this Word document, which was fucking hilarious. I remember handing it back and they're like, "Oh, so you definitely haven't written a script before then?"
Just thought you were just trying to
just thought that was you giving your charm. But so we wrote this kind of first series. It's like 6 episodes. It's called Class, like I said. It's about this guy Freddie and his pal Donnie and his wee pal Neil, and it's a coming of age tale, and it's based in the fictional town of Wishy, but Wisha. And well, I mean, it actually last year.
Originally, they wanted us to write it, see, like, people just do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And it, like, us be in it and all that, but.
All right.
Which it was till a point last year, it got quite far with Channel 4 that that's what it was going to be, and then it get put in.
They just couldn't understand anything you were saying.
Actually, it wasn't diverse enough was the problem. So,
all right.
But the kind of point we were trying to make was like, okay,
Wishy isn't diverse,
but if we're being true to form here, it's no diverse. Like you're saying, it's I don't have a gang of black friends around here, or do you know what I mean? Or it's just not how it goes. So
it's going to be diverse and authentic. It's diverse. Exactly. It's diverse in that it's working class, you know.
Totally, and I actually felt it was more racist to just shoehorn token characters in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, originally with the character, our managers of Indian descent, our mum and dad are Indian, Indian name and all that, but
yeah,
originally we had made the boys have this the same as us, an Indian manager, but she was really Indian. Like we made it a bit too Indian, and then it was too like obvious. It would just put in somebody there to be
for diversity's sake.
But now because Kerr's got
my dad's Turkish, so like now we've just shoehorned a Turkish guy in it, and that's fine because I can make all the kebab jokes and all that I want because I've had it. So, so it's sound. But so look out for that. Maybe
One day.
One day, aye, who knows?
You're not allowed to film anything until about next year because it's
Aye.
on anyway. So,
I mean, has somebody picked that up for a pilot then, or what's?
Aye, so it's been signed to a production company, who they're what's the biggest things like Carol Pilkington's sick of it. Fucking they done stuff for The Office. There's loads of stuff on it, man. That they're quite good, well reputable fucking boys.
Brilliant, man.
And
The guy that owns the company is like the head of the BAFTA commission and that, isn't he?
aye, so hopefully
So we should hopefully get a BAFTA.
so. Let's just say it's already in the bag, boys. A BAFTA-winning screenplay, not even written.
Well, you heard it here first. I hope we get invited to the party when you've got BAFTAs hanging.
Again, boys. Again, you'll be first on the list for a hefty fee.
Double price.
yeah, we have to somehow get you a fucking BAFTA so we can show up at the party. Look, I stole this BAFTA off somebody else. It's like, can I come in?
Aye, but so that's kind of other wee things that are going on at the same time. It's basically in this day and age to make any of your creative things be a viable kind of option. You just need to spin as many plates as possible to try and make it all come together and make it one thing. That's how you just live, you know.
Be a bit of a polymath kind of.
100%, man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we don't even do it as our main thing, but we find ourselves fucking like doing weird live shows like at festivals or like the Sugar Club and stuff like that, because it's like, can you do a show? Aye, fuck it, I would do that. Like,
that's brilliant, man. That's absolutely brilliant. Especially if it's not your main thing.
Aye.
Like if you're this is just
My main thing's fixing oil rigs.
Aye, well that's couldn't get any better.
And I've
gardening.
Gardening. Tyler, you fucking
Paul, what have you got?
Not bad at old
An
Tyler
IT
and
company.
me.
Nice, man.
So, but I've always worked in IT, but there's probably an argument to say for the last 3 months I've put about as much work into this as I do IT. Do you know what I mean? Like, we haven't worked in. We've been interviewing. I reckon we're doing an interview about every fucking 4 days or something like that on average. Like, it's fucking madness.
That's amazing.
Everybody's stuck in the house, so they're kind of happy for something. But it's a distraction as well. You know what I mean? Like if you're stuck in the same house you've been in all week, and it's an opportunity to chat to somebody fucking different or whatever, man, you know. So folk are into it.
In fact, that actually happened. We were in the BBC talking to them about stuff, and when we were in, you were working for the BBC at the time, Kerr, and they says to us, do you think you would be able to get a hold of Jamie, the drummer for the LaFontaines, to come in? It's like, you could just ask Kerr. I mean, like, what the fuck are you asking us for? Like, I mean, we could get Jamie in. Like, I'm sure I sent him a message like, Jamie, can you come in? He's just like, aye. And in fact, he sent the best. Like, he sent an email back that I was still going to the change, just like, all right, what's happening? I've been out the country for a wee bit. That's me just back. I'll come down and see you at some point. And I read it and thought, that's the most Jamie message. Like, it's
There's see what Kerr's talking about. We went to meet the folk in London, so I went to meet the woman at the BBC. She's sitting down, she buys me a coffee and that. She's going, so what ideas have you got? And I'm like, I don't know, you wanted to meet me. Not got a clue. She's got, and it was just like us two talking to each other about, I don't know why she wanted to, but I had to send her wee bits of writing, but I've fell out with her, I've just fell out the loop with her. I've no wrote wee bits, but I'll maybe pick it up again after I've got my BAFTA or something.
Aye. I'm sure she'll come back, man.
After you do the Oscars.
Aye, man. Listen, best of luck with everything you've got coming up. Keep doing what you're doing, and we'll keep listening. And so, where like give all the information to the listeners. Like, what's the website? Where can they get your stuff? You know? So
the band's called the LaFontaines. We have 3 albums. Our latest one is called Junior. It would be I think that's personally for the boys. We would like you to listen to that one first because it showcases where we are now and we think it's our best work to date.
I know that you would rather die than hide. Don't save me from the fight. Don't bury me alive. I know you waited half a life to try. So who am I to find a way across the line?
You can listen to that on Spotify, Apple, all that stuff. Just Google the LaFontaines. And the thing we're kind of putting in lockdown now is our own podcast called the LaFontaines Podcast, funny enough. It's not called funny enough. The LaFontaines Podcast. funnily enough. And it's just stories from the book, us talking shite, and it's been pretty fun. And if you would like to see us live in your car and you're from Scotland, you can join us on the 4th of September in Edinburgh. And that is all I have to tell you. Also, thank you for having us on, man. It's been a very enjoyable way to spend an evening.
It's an absolute pleasure, guys. It's an absolute pleasure, honestly.
Thanks a lot.
I genuinely, that was great. I'm glad we got it to work.
Aye, no bother, man, no bother. Yeah, thanks for taking the time. I know it's like it can be a pain in the arse sometimes and whatever, so we appreciate it.
That's good, man.
Now people love talking about themselves. I'm one of them.
If you ever want me on again, you just
so same time tomorrow. Ask me more about my day.
What'd you do today? Play this cracking band. Man, it was all right. Got some good numbers.
Yeah, come on tomorrow to tell us about how you did any lyrics.
So again, boys, I have nothing here, but still 35 instrumentals.
And then the thing is, in about 3 months' time, you're just like, I would have fucking recorded lyrics, boys, but every time that I fucking went to those boys for not
podcasting,
just been recording podcasts every day.
I mate,
ever thought that if you don't write any lyrics, we might get on Radio 1?
if I don't
just like Jamie sing.
Exactly. Fuck. I better go start writing then. So I've still got a band. All right, boys.
Well, it's been
take it easy, man. Thanks a lot, man.